Welcome to Wanna Bet, the daily gambling game show that takes betting seriously, but not much else. Get our favorite plays on the totals, sides, props, exotics, and futures to jump on now.
So let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Subject som känner konsoldater konsolferino. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben.
Hey, Happy New Year. Thank you for tuning in to Wanna Bet. I'm Jason. Yes, I'm Jason. That's Ben. This is the Mighty Fishbone. There's our rundown that we stole from PTI. We're going to give you our favorite plays of right freaking now because that's what we do 7 days a week. I'm going to say 352 days a year, be my guess, when we get around to May 21st, which is when we did the first one of these. I'm going to guess we've done, by then, we'll have done 350 some shows. And guess what? You're getting a double shot of us today. So as we speak now, we're going to get you prepped for afternoon betting, evening betting, everything on Thursday. Then I'm spending the day in D.C. with my family tomorrow. We're leaving early. We're going to get you our favorite place for Friday tonight, maybe around midnight Eastern time. Check our Twitter. We'll let you know. But we'll have an early jump on Friday. We'll be back Saturday morning before the second slate of Premiership games kick off, before more college gets going. And then obviously Sunday at 11 for the final NFL Sunday, full NFL Sunday of the season. Happy New Year again to all. How did we spend our New Year's? Well, I spent mine making sure I could get you the very best plays for today and tomorrow, watching sports with my family, hanging out with my wife some, and crushing the betting markets. Put that back up there, Beltway Ben. Thank you. Most of these were not very sweaty last night. And if Ohio State doesn't throw a pick six at the end of the first half, maybe we sweep the board entirely. I got back in on the Elon game at halftime. Once Elon started hitting the three ball after a terribly slow start, I knew that was going to be a game played in the 80s, and it was. That went over by 10 points. St. John's, they were behind the first first 15 minutes. Three balls started falling for them the end of the first half. They had that up to 20. If you played the alt 13.5 with me, sorry. 2 garbage time Georgetown threes. And when I say garbage time, down 20 with 20 seconds to play. Got that thing down at the end to 12 or 13. The 13.5 didn't cash. Wasn't an official play here. It was a wink. But the 8.5 cashed easy. Iowa, quasi-sweaty. If a kid doesn't drop a ball in the end zone for an interception, it's a real easy cash. The Spurs lose Wemby. No Vassell, whatever. They come back from 19 down on the Knickerbockers. Yeah. Some shenanigans late in that one too, man. Brunson getting off. I don't know what was going on there, man. If you were sitting on San Antonio and anything over 1.5, it got real sweaty. But we just had the money line. Yeah. It was a great night. Beltway Ben, the Utah play was a great play. I was on that at -14. Didn't talk about it on the show, but liked it. Your guy comes through, Buzelas. Did I say that right?
Buzelas.
And then look, Ohio State. I think the lesson learned here, Beltway Ben, once again, is if a team don't play for 30 days, they might not be okay.
Yes, and an early look ahead. I'm going to test that fate one more time today with my Texas Tech guys, but we'll get to them earlier in the show. Ultimately, it was a very good day. We had Anthony Edwards 30-plus points. I was pretty scared, I'll be completely honest with you, with the way that was going and where he was. He only needed 6 points in the third quarter, which he does regularly, but I knew if he fell short there, he wasn't going to play the fourth quarter. He did come back in, but did get us the 30 we needed. We cashed our NBA parlay. Buzelas, listen to this. First quarter has 8 PRAs. I feel great. Subs out.
Yeah.
Subs in the second quarter, picks up a few. So I think he had 15 at halftime, or 15 or 16 at halftime. I felt pretty good. I wasn't even checking the foul count. And the broadcast had mentioned it late. Fourth quarter, he picks up his fourth foul like a minute in, and they bench him. And I'm like, this is how Vegas is going to do it. I'm screwed. Yeah. He's cooked. I was just furious. He comes in the fourth quarter, starts the fourth quarter with 4 fouls. Meanwhile, defense, every time I'm like, just let them score. Just let them score. Because we also did have Pelicans money line. But I'm like, just let them score. Don't pick up a foul. He drills 2 threes in the first 2 minutes of the fourth quarter to get us the 6 PRAs we needed. That was a great cash. Fourth and weird, we had Zion Williamson over field goals attempted. I told you, I thought it was really weird in a spot like that when he's starting to come back, getting more comfortable, playing more minutes. I don't know how he doesn't shoot the ball a lot. He has 9 field goal attempts in the first quarter. So that was a pretty easy cash for us. He cashed that at halftime and everything else. I mean, it was outside of the Ohio State money line and field goals made, which of course was the post that I made because that was the only one I could get done by game time. Of course, that was the one that we get burnt on. It is what it is. We also did have a lot of people on TikTok letting me hear it about that. A lot of Miami fans. Listen, I don't dislike Miami, but know who you guys are. Calm down just a little bit. I root for Miami, but I think we can all agree Christo Fraud and Carson Beck is hard to expect.
Yeah, but he had the power. He had the power of Ray Lewis and Michael Irvin on the sideline.
Oh my God, no.
I mean, that was some powerful shit.
No, that was different.
That's no joke, dude.
I don't know how Irvin maintains that body.
Irv is a machine. I mean, dude. Irv. I mean, I spent a lot of time with Irv.
Yeah, I was going to say,
like when I was at NFL Network. I've been out with Irv many times. That stuff goes to the grave. Not talked about. Yeah, that was that. I mean, I'd like to see. I mean, bring Portis, bring Sapp, just let's go.
Right.
Mike Rumpf, deep cut. I've got a fourth and weird for you today, bro. I don't even know it. You're the arbiter of this. When I give this out, well, you know what it is, but when I give it out on air, you might even be like, that doesn't cut the mustard. That's not really weird.
Setting up for the show, sitting here, when I got that text, like my face did change. It made me smile that I saw you acknowledge fourth and weird, and we're going to play it. No, fourth and weird is whatever you want.
Does that you think that's weird? A fair fourth and weird play?
I'm not the right. But we as a show, when you think something, I think this is weird because I think it's a weird prop, because I think it's weird that the line is this way. However you want to play weird, you can play weird.
Okay. That's good to know. All right. You guys have sat through enough of our Michigosh, if I use that correctly. Let's get in on the Georgia Bulldogs. If this cashes, I will find somewhere my HBDFD t-shirt straight from my family in Athens, Georgia. Uncle Tim and the boys, Luke, Bruce. They're probably at the game tonight. We got a lot of family in Athens, Georgia. My wife's brother lives down there. We've spent a lot of time on the campus. Shout out to Joe Noddy from Loyola Blakefield, Roll Down Roll, who was in who'll be in the Georgia Bulldogs bullpen this year. Might be betting some SEC baseball. Why not? Roll Dogs roll, or go Dogs go, or do whatever dogs do. Don't poop on my lawn. Don't poop on this bet tonight, dogs. Georgia to win and under 60 points in this game, plus 119. Look, I'm betting on Georgia's defense to carry the day here. Ole Miss, it's great. Cool story, bro. You won your Super Bowl without Lane Kiffin. And I don't like Lane Kiffin. I'm not a Lane Kiffin guy, but he has a certain degree of offensive acumen. And for a familiar opponent now that you're going to have to face again, I think not having him there, that brain drain, I think is real. Look, Kirby's been there, done that. Georgia knows how to navigate this time of year in a way that most schools don't, and with a level of success that almost no school in this playoff era could trump. I think they win this football game. Went back, looked at the last meeting. Did you know the Dogs scored on 8 straight drives when these teams got together last time?
Yeah, and
that's a lot.
It is a lot.
Now that scares me a little bit on the 60, but I think this is played. Look, this ain't an end all and be all for Georgia, right? This is a step in the road, and I think if they can get a lead and take the air out of the ball, I think they will. Because here's what Georgia's defense has allowed the last 4 times they've taken a football field: 10, 3, 9, and 7. Is that good? Is that good, Ben?
Pretty damn good, I'd say.
Yeah. So it's their time of year. They're a fairly decent favorite. I don't want to mess around with the line because I don't think they're worried about a smash spot. I think they want this to be their kind of ball game, which is low scoring. Let the defense tee off. Let's get a lead. Let's keep the clock running, and let's move on.
First down, I mentioned it. We're going to play this. Yesterday, I wish Ohio State could have won, so we would have been in a good spot with that one, but that was one of the parlays we lost. Texas Tech and Ohio State on the money line. But here, we will play the Texas Tech Red Raiders on the money line at plus 118. I talked about it a bunch yesterday. I said I'd get into it more today. I just trust their defense more. This is a defense that forced 2.5 takeaways per game. I think their offense is just going to have to do just enough. A lot of people are talking about that Oregon offense and how much they're clicking. I'm going to get more to them in third down, just with where I think they are and how I think they could be stopped today. Morton got the time off. And me and Jason were talking before the show. Teams with this bye, since the playoff has been expanded, have yet to win a game. There has not been a team to win a game with this expanded bye week. I understand that. I know the trends. I know where we're at. I think that breaks here at noon today. The game is soon. We have about 40 minutes till kickoff. Probably realistically like 60 minutes till kickoff with how they are.
Oh, yeah.
But I like Texas Tech in this spot. I don't think they're getting enough credit, and I understand how great of a coach Lanning is. I get all of the hype with Oregon. They lost a few tight games. Some people look at those as getting them out of the way earlier in the year and now going on this run. I think with where Texas Tech is, the bye gave Morton time. He just needs to manage this game. He's not 100%. He said it in an interview with Danny Cannell yesterday, but he's been dealing with an injury all year long. You gave him all of these days off. That's pretty big for him, especially when you don't have Hammond, the young quarterback who can run the ball. They used to sub him in a bunch. He's been without, or they've been without him since October. So I think Morton's just going to have to kind of manage the game, be smart, don't turn the football over, because this defense will force Dante Moore to throw 1 or 2 interceptions. They've been doing it all year long. They've done it when they've played the BYUs of the world, and people keep talking they haven't really played anybody. Like, I think you could compare these two teams. I really do with who they've played. I get Oregon played Indiana. That takes the cherry on top. Like, I understand all that. But BYU played a few, or Texas Tech played a few tough teams in the Big 12, depending where you look and depending how you view the Big 12. I just think they're a good spot. Their one loss this year was to Arizona State when Sam Leavitt, who's going to get paid a lot of money in the transfer portal, had a massive game, threw for 300-plus yards. The defense has really, really figured itself out. They have probably the best tandem edge rushers when you have Height and Bailey, the way they're getting to the quarterback. I know what we saw from Miami last night was pretty damn impressive, but I think that we can see it here today with Texas Tech and that defense. They are the difference for me. We already know what Jacob Rodriguez is. I mean, the guy's an absolute dog, was in the Heisman race. I really like Texas Tech here. I know a lot of people are on Oregon, and a lot of people are buying them to go far. If Oregon wins today, they absolutely could go win. I think right now, Ohio State being eliminated means a lot for everybody, and Indiana's injury to one of their best edge rushers is huge. But for today, I like Texas Tech to win it. They were my pick coming into the college football playoff, and I'm going with them today on the money line. Give me the Texas Tech Red Raiders plus 118 on the money line.
Well, let me ask you this, because you guys, if you're loyal to the show, you know I jumped on, as soon as the futures markets formed for playoffs, I jumped on Oregon for a multitude of reasons. I don't need to relitigate it here. But the more you talk about this game, and you're more of the college football maven than I am, is there a part of you that doesn't want to put $10 on each of these teams to win it? Like, do you think that whoever wins this game has the best path to winning it all?
That's a good point.
Like, if you're already on Texas Tech here, is there not a part of you that wants to hedge and put $10 on Oregon to win it all? Whatever, you know what I mean? At wherever that is now. I got it at 9-1. There's no way that's out there anymore. No. But I'm just wondering, as we talk strategy sometimes, if that makes sense to you.
Yeah, I absolutely. In terms of strategy, I get that, especially now with Ohio State going down and you're going to play Miami next round. The edge rushing group for Miami last night definitely scares me a little bit, but I think they're going to get there, and you'll probably – Georgia's the other team for me. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I might be one of the only people around that is just not fully bought into Indiana. I love what Cignetti's done. I think he's a great coach. I think the injury's big. I think it's going to be Georgia. Georgia are the winner.
I think Georgia can get home. I think Georgia can get to the final game.
Yeah.
I'm with you. You just don't buy Oregon. That's fine. You don't buy Oregon.
I mean, they could win it. I don't know. No, you're right. I don't fully buy them. But again, it's just
these
a
are
weird
good discussions to have, Bill.
Absolutely.
Second down. We like fading IU Indy, one of the most flawed NCAA Division I basketball teams around. They're playing a Northern Kentucky team that I think is pretty good. I last couple of years I spent a fair amount of time on the Horizon League. I like it, and I like betting it because, Ben, I think it's one of the best mid-majors where every year there's 2 or 3 teams that don't make the tournament where I'm like, I think that team could win a game in the tournament if it was seeded right. And I also feel like the underbelly in this league is brutal. Like Green Bay last year, an auto fade until proven profile. They play at the 4th fastest pace in the land, and they're 359th in Ken Palm defense. We love that. 356th in defensive EFG, 350th in offensive rebound. They allow opponents to shoot 61% from the floor when they take 2-point shots. Northern Kentucky's a good basketball team. Northern Kentucky will compete in the Horizon League. And Northern Kentucky, I think, is going to score at least 95 points today. You can get this over 94.5 at minus 120. Full disclosure, I'm on this at over 95.5 as well. IU Indy, Detroit Mercy put up 92 on them. Cleveland State, who's not a good basketball operation, scored 99 on them. Charleston Southern, 103. Alabama State, 101. Northern Kentucky, the Norse are also a top 60 team in pace. Plenty of opportunities for fast possessions, second and third chance opportunities, and scoring quickly. Northern Kentucky's 86th in the country in 2-point shooting percentage. I like that matchup. They're an elite offensive rebounding team going against a team that can't take care of the boards. But they're also terrible defending the 3 ball, and that's why I'm not laying the 15 here. And actually, my hope is at home, IU Indy hits some threes, and they keep this close enough that the Norse just keep running and get us 100 points here and make this not that sweaty. If you told me the Norse put up 104, I wouldn't flinch. So that's where we are on this one. Northern Kentucky over 94.5 minus 120.
Yes, second down, I'm going to the NBA market for the only other time. I mean, we'll go to it in overtime, but the only play by itself that I'm playing today, James Harden, 10-plus assists, plus 168. Writing it up, doing my research last night, I was playing over 8.5, and I woke up today and was just like, I know he's finished on 9 twice this year, so if I get burnt by taking it up to get 50 more cents, I'll be kicking myself, but I'm fine with it. I'm fine with taking that risk because I feel like 10-plus assists is worth it. Let's look at what the Jazz are doing. Got to match up with the Jazz. What they're allowing, 34.6 assists to opponents per game over their last 5. That is by far the most in the NBA. Let's look at what some guards and just some players in general have done against them. Jaylen Brown had 10 assists last game. Dylan Harper had 12 assists. Stephon Castle had 7. De'Aaron Fox was out. Cade Cunningham, 17 assists. That wasn't a multi-game thing. 17 assists in one game against the Utah Jazz. Jeez. Cam Spencer, 13 assists. And we saw Ja out. Jokic, 13
Be more
assists.
Represent.
Absolutely. Love Spencer. Paolo Banchero, 9 assists. We are seeing guys add a ton of assists here, and James Harden, we know what he can be. No Zubac is brutal. I'll be honest with you guys, looking with research, I was like, I don't think I'll be playing Harden much assist until Zubac gets back, just because the pick and roll is a different thing there. But this matchup against the Jazz, who struggled defending the 3, we see Kawhi starting to get off. I mean, he scored 40 or 50 the other night. 50-some points, his career high. He scored 30 in like 4 straight. He's scoring. Harden could find a few assists there. They'll knock down some shots from the outside. Can John Collins finish around the rim? Can some other guys finish some buckets for Harden? I think so. It's usually, if you look at Harden throughout the year, it's 4 or 5 games, and he'll grab 10 to 11 assists in one game, and he'll go right back. 5, 6, 7, 8, somewhere around there. Then he'll grab 10 again. I think tonight, and last year, he was getting to 10 regularly. This year, it's just been kind of all over the place with him. And he's over this in just 1 of 11 games in December. It was over in 1 of 11. Good thing now, it's a new year. I think Harden goes over 9.5 assists, plus 168.
Halftime. I had a thought about Wade, man. Should we have put the bibs on?
Yeah, I wasn't even thinking. I'm like 90% sure we finished north of 6 units. Had mid-show change.
I mean, it's a great way to kick off the new year. I mean, not forgetting to do it, but like, yeah. I mean, right?
Yeah, we finished up north of 6 units combined.
So there you go. If you're new to the show, we put the bibs on when it's time to feast after a 3 lobster night. And yeah, I mean, running the board across multiple sports, one for me, one for you, one for Meatball and Gigi. Nice, you're packing the lobsters.
Yeah.
Excellent. I feel like my bib's looking discombobulated on air. There we go. Okay. Third down. We've got premiership matches kicking off at 12:30. And then another slate at I think 3. Simple play here. Let's go Tottenham, Brentford over 2.5 goals. Straight bet -110. No funkiness there on the odds. Look, if you watched Brentford last week, goals. Brentford has played 9 home matches. The total has gone over 2.5 total goals in 6 of those 9. There's been a BTTS in 7 of their 9 home games. That's 2 goals right there. They've kept 1 clean sheet at home. Tottenham have scored 16 times away from White Hart Lane this year. I know they don't play at White Hart Lane anymore. Those were the good old days. I've been to White Hart Lane. Tottenham, 16 goals scored on the road, Beltway Ben. 3rd most in the Prem. 7 of Tottenham's 9 road matches have gone over 2.5 goals. Can I read my handwriting here? I can't. We saw Brentford side put up 4 last time out. Pretty easy. Tottenham been bad in the back. I think both these teams look at this as an opportunity to get 3 points. I don't think this is a situation where everybody's content 1-1. If this thing's at 1-1, somebody's going to want to get the match winner, and that will, oftentimes provide opportunities on the counter for the other team. I think this has the potential to go over the 2.5 in the first half. To be honest with you, if we get a goal in the first 20 minutes, which isn't out of the question with these two. So we like the over 2.5 there in this match. We also think our guy Igor Thiago is overdue to score. This guy's 3rd in the Premiership in goal scoring. Let's go Thiago, anytime goal, +120. He scored 11 times in Brentford's first 13 matches. It hasn't been great lately. No goals for the Bees in the last 5. He did have a helper in that 4-1 thrashing that we mentioned earlier last time out. This guy takes penalties. I think this match could get a little heated if we get early goals. And he's on the ball too much against, again, a Tottenham side on the road, a Tottenham side that's not great in the back. So there's our 2 third down plays.
Yeah, I got 2 third down plays as well. And we're going to head back to a game where I've documented a lot of things that I like. We'll start here with the Oregon Texas Tech under 51.5 at -130. When you look at what's going on with Texas Tech this season, and the reason I'm playing this under, it's because I think it's going to be what their defense does. So we'll also play Oregon's team total under 26.5 points at -110. Not a single team has scored more than 26 points against Texas Tech this year, including their loss where they lost to Arizona State. They allowed 26 points. Oregon is under this total just 5 times. They were under against a Washington defense that finished the year top 25 in the country. Iowa, who we always know was good defensively, a little bit of a down year. They weren't as good as usual. Still a good defense. Wisconsin, which was just a weird game. I kind of wrote that one past. Indiana, one of the top defenses in the country. And they would have been well under this number against Penn State, but the game goes double overtime, and they scored multiple touchdowns in double overtime to get over the total. That game looked a lot worse for them as the year went on. Now, I'm not going to discredit winning in Happy Valley, regardless of what that Penn State team is, how much they're struggling, and how much hype there was around the team at the time. Like at the time, it was a very good win, but Penn State ended the year not playing good football. They lost to UCLA with that same squad, so I'm not really putting as much stock into that win. But Oregon has not had this firepower offense against everybody they've played. They've been very good. They've dominated a lot of spots. We saw it in the first round. Now, they allowed some points to James Madison, but they also scored 50-plus points. Here, the difference makers in this game are majority are on the Texas Tech defense, to be quite honest with you. The 3 best players in this game, in my opinion, are on the Texas Tech defense. Jacob Rodriguez, Romello Height, David Bailey. I talked about Height and Bailey that tandem, the edge rushing tandem, they can get to the quarterback. Dante Moore can make plays with his legs. He's done it. I get all that. He's played in some big spots, but this one to me just feels like it's going to be ugly, slow. And the reason that, as well as the Oregon under, we're playing the game under, I think Texas Tech is going to be content with kicking field goals, playing slow, running the football, and letting some clock run. We're going to get a little bit to it more in fourth and weird because, again, we have another play. I like this game a lot of different ways. We have another play on it, but I think they're going to get after the quarterback. This is going to be a slow, kind of ugly football game away from what we've seen in a number of Oregon games, but it's not rare for them. That's what I think a lot of people are kind of lost with, where it's as high-powered as they are. We understand. I get it. I totally get it. But in some of these games, like Washington, Penn State, there have been ugly matchups, and there have been 3-yard run, and just ugly, slow games. And I think they're going to be fine with playing that both sides here. I don't think either one will be playing fast, just with how both defenses are. I think it'll be an ugly game. So give me the Oregon Texas Tech under 51.5 at -130. And we'll also play the Oregon team total under 26.5 at -110.
Excellent. Brings me to, if I could drink my coffee, my first official fourth and weird play. Although I've done plays before that would have been fourth and weird if this category existed. Like first 4.5 in baseball under. Yeah.
That would have been perfect. We should have came up with it then. I'm mad that it took me so long.
I know, right? Lost a lot of months there. We could have been promoting fourth and weird. So Beltway Ben says this qualifies, so it qualifies. Highest scoring half in the Leeds Liverpool match, second half. You can get this at +110. Why do I think the second half here? Well, I think there's going to be goals. We're on the BTTS. Leeds, especially when they play top four sides, come out, balls out, attack. And Liverpool are leaky in the back. They've been playing without a true right back all year. There's been all kinds of communication issues back there. So we think there'll be goals. Why the second half? Okay, well, Liverpool's number one in the Premiership with total goals in the second half. That's their goals and goals conceded. They second half, high scoring half for them by some margin. There's some teams we talked about, Man City, Man U, score a lot in the first 30 minutes. Usually Liverpool, their starting 11 never looks that connected. They got to make a bunch of changes at the half, or certainly maybe by the 55th or 60th minute, and then things take off in the second half. How about Leeds? They're third in the Premiership with total goals in their matches in the second half. Liverpool, you look at their last 9 matches, you got a BTTS in the second half in 7 of the last 9. I'm sorry, Leeds on the road, 9 matches, BTTS in the second half in 7 of those 9. Leeds also, like, it's a tough week for them. They've got a derby with Man United coming up on Sunday. Squad size is not that big. Part of me wonders if they get a little cheeky with the starting 11 here, which is out right now, but I'm not going to stop the show to look at it. And if they go into squad rotation a little bit here, like our guy Calvert-Lewin maybe doesn't play more than 55 or 60 here because they want him fresh for Man U. But either way, I think the second half is where this game gets loose. And then a fourth and long traditional play. Look, I think Kittle's playing in this game. The gambling markets think Kittle's playing in this game. Maybe Kittle doesn't get through this whole game. I'm a little worried about that, but we've talked about tight ends against McDonald's defense. Give me Kittle long reception over 21.5 at -110. Not playing in anything juiced here. He has a 20-yard reception or more in 6 straight games. He has a 25-yard reception or more in 6 straight games. You can't really play this at 25. I didn't want to play it at 30. Seattle allows 7.7 yards per attempt to tight ends. That's middle of the pack, 16th, but they're good against a lot of others. No, I'm sorry. That's bottom 10 in the league. They're 16th in the league when you throw at a 12 and 13 personnel. I believe they're going to see a lot of that here from Shanahan, and we will be on Tonjes when those markets form. Seattle's allowed a 20-yard pass to a tight end in 8 of the last 10 games. So I think Kittle gets at least one explosive and shows out early here. Maybe he can't get through the whole game. And again, we're going to have Tonjes by the weekend.
Fourth and weird. I'll head back to fourth and weird. For this play, we are going to a market that we touched on yesterday, but didn't play by itself and would have lost if we did. We're going to play the Oregon Texas Tech the game total over 2.5 field goals made at plus 180. Now, some of you might be saying, well, Ben, third down, you have an under, and then fourth and whatever, you're taking points. You need points to be scored. Yeah, well, I do expect when we have points in this game, it will be field goals and not many touchdowns. If you look at Oregon, I talked about it before. They haven't kicked a ton of field goals this year. They've had a lot of firepower against lesser opponents. But in those matchups I pointed out, the Penn State games, the Washington games, where they weren't scoring as many touchdowns, they were kicking multiple field goals. Their field goal kicker hit 3 in one of those games, 4 in another. That would have cleared us by itself. And we don't even have Texas Tech involved. Now, Texas Tech has kicked some field goals this year. They've also scored a lot of touchdowns. But as good as Texas Tech's defense is, I think the same about Oregon. Both of these defenses are solid. I don't think Oregon's is near as good as Texas Tech, but they are a solid defense. They're one of the better ones around in the playoffs still. And I think it's going to be somewhat similar to last night, what we saw, but maybe a few less turnovers. Like the pick six killed us with a field goal. The fumble by Miami early in that game hurt us with a field goal. There was opportunities. Turnovers happen, and that's normal in football, especially when I say Texas Tech is forcing 2.5 per game. But in this spot, I think points for both sides will be very important. Teams will kick the field goal when it's there. I don't know that either offense should be going for it on fourth down a lot, giving these defenses a chance to get stops because that's what they do. So give me the Oregon and Texas Tech game total over 2.5 field goals made at plus 180.
All right. Overtime. I should have given this out with the Leeds Liverpool. So let's get this one off the board now, if you don't mind, Ben. I mentioned all the BTTSs in the second half of matches with Leeds and Liverpool. Well, let's just go to BTTS for the game. Both teams to score at Anfield in the Liverpool-Leeds match, minus 120. Look, full disclosure, I played this at minus 140 at 365 yesterday. Fanatics and Caesars both had it at minus 120 this morning. Again, I'm a little worried that this Leeds lineup is going to leave something to be desired, but I still think they can get a goal here, even if our guy Dominic Calvert-Lewin is on a little bit of a minutes restriction here. Leeds have scored in 4 straight on the road. Leeds have not held a clean sheet on the road all season long. The BTTS has hit in 8 straight Leeds United matches and 9 of their last 10. Liverpool have kept just 3 clean sheets at Anfield in 9 games all year. The BTTS has hit in 5 of their 9 at home. Liverpool scored 2 or more goals in 4 straight matches and 5 of the last 6 across home and road. I just see too much value here not to just play the BTTS by itself. But again, this number is it's better for you right now at minus 120 than minus 140, but it gives me a little pause, but not enough that we don't still like it. Let's stay in one more Premiership match. Sunderland hosting Man City at the Stadium of Light. Man City are now 5 points behind Arsenal. Man City do not want to go into the weekend 5 points behind Arsenal. Sunderland have been the little engine that could. It's cute. It's great and all. Like, they haven't lost at the Stadium of Light yet, and they keep, like, they drew with Leeds 1-1 over the weekend, even though Leeds beat the shit out of them. Everybody I know who follows the Premiership thinks Sunderland's in it for it here. Now, maybe that's becoming too prevalent, but, like, Sunderland are not, like, the home schedule has favored them. Luck has favored them. Expected goals have favored them. Like, you watch these matches, you look at the advanced metrics, you're like, how did they get a point again? How did they get 3 points again? City's firing on all cylinders here. City's about to bring Semenyo in the transfer window. So, like, dudes are fighting for their place up top. Like, wow, they're spending all this money for Semenyo in January, and all we've been doing is scoring 3 or 4 goals a match. Like, whose ass is going to the bench? Nobody's ass wants to go to the bench. I think City wins this match by 2 or more goals. City's in great form right now, and I'm just not buying Southern. I just don't buy them. I'm sorry. I think in the second half of the season, that's going to be a team I'm going to be looking to fade because I don't think they have the squad size, and I don't think this luck is going to continue. They also have the most players who went to the African Cup of Nations of any Premiership side, and they're dealing with 2 significant injuries going into this match. Like, I think City pounds them. Foden looks great. Holland is Holland. They're getting goals from the midfield now. So that's where we are. Man City -1 plus 167 on the Asian markets at 365. We also like City to score 3 times in this match. Holland to have one of those goals. And City to win the match. That's plus 275. Sunderland have scored the 3rd fewest goals in the Prem. They cannot play from behind. And City is one of those teams that scores in the first 30 minutes a lot. We're already on Holland with the parlay from a couple days ago, but I wanted to play him by himself because, again, I'm not sure about Calvert-Lewin playing 90 minutes in that match. And I get it. If you're at 365, you get the sub on. There ain't nobody on Leeds bench who's doing what Calvert-Lewin's doing right now. Holland's a leading scorer in the Premiership. Sunderland's lost 8 straight times they faced Man City. And Man City's on a roll right now. They've scored 2 or more goals in 6 straight in 8 of their last 9. They've been poaching 3 with regularity. They've scored 18 times in 9 road matches on the season. And they're built for this. They're built for 3 matches in, 9 days in a way that Sunderland's just not. So again, City to win the match, City to score 3 times, Holland to get 1 of those goals, plus 275, and then 2 football plays we made, football parlays, because overtime is football and football parlays every day. And we hinted at these earlier in the week. Sam Darnold will throw for 250 yards and at least 2 touchdowns, plus 186 at DraftKings. He averages 250 a game. San Francisco's defense is garbage. Everybody's lighting them up lately. San Francisco, I think, is going to score on Seattle, and both teams are going to have to throw the ball a lot. San Francisco's allowed 2 or more passing touchdowns in 9 of the last 12 games. Also, San Francisco gets no interceptions, and that's where Sam Darnold gets effed, is when he's a double agent. But you throw it to San Francisco, they can't catch the ball. They went almost a calendar year without having an interception. They've got the most pedestrian pass rush of any playoff team, unless the Ravens get in. Then the Ravens will have the most pedestrian pass rush of any playoff team. I think it's a high-scoring game. I think Smith and Jigba will get his. So there you go, almost 2-1. And then we also like Brock Purdy to throw 2 passing touchdowns. Brock Purdy to have 220 passing yards, because I think McCaffrey will get a bit of a load here, even if he's not doing a great job on the road. I'm on the ground. I think he'll still get his. And San Francisco to score 24 points. So Purdy, 2 or more passing touchdowns. Purdy, 220 or more passing yards. The Niners to score 24 points, plus 166, also at the DraftKings. San Francisco scored 26 or more in 7 of their last 8 games. The last 6 weeks since Purdy came back, number 1 in points per drive, number 1 in scoring percentage, number 1 in fewest punts percentage, number 1 on third down. Seattle, you can kill them with tight ends. They've got 2 of them, assuming Kittle's all right. Look, he's thrown 3 or more passing touchdowns in 4 of his last 6. He's thrown for 295 or more in 3 straight games. I think he's good for 250, but I do worry about Shanahan getting cute, doing some stupid shit in the fourth quarter, how he blows games, taking the foot off the gas and riding McCaffrey, even if it's only 3 yards per carry. So we're going to play that at 220. And I think it's a high-scoring game. We're already on the over.
I got a few plays. We'll start with just parlay for today in college football. Same game tonight, the final game of the day. Georgia on the money line, the Bulldogs, and 150-plus rushing yards from the Bulldogs, minus 138. For some reason, Georgia's money line is going down. There's a lot of money being placed on Ole Miss. All that's fine. Ole Miss can't stop the run. It's a fact. And I know Kirby, of course, we know what he does with defense, but in these spots, he's smart enough to know what to do with these guys and how to win these games. You want to bleed some clock. You don't want Chambliss going for 300-plus yards against you. Run the damn football, and you're going to have success with it because Ole Miss can't stop it. So I think they're going to lean heavy into the run. I don't think they'll have many issues. The last game was close, down to the wire. Today, they're a little bit bigger of a favorite, 6.5 points. I would expect them to win this game. It might be tight. It might go down to the end. But if they're going to win the game, it's going to be because they have success running the football. Stockton always can give us some stuff with his legs, which is good here. I don't know they'll be taking a ton of sacks. Their offensive line has played damn good this year. So give me the Georgia Bulldogs on the money line and 150-plus rushing yards at minus 138. We do have an NBA parlay, bunch of legs. And a lot of people will ask, well, why are we playing 5 different guys and not getting this good of a payoff? We've done this a lot this year and had some success with it. So it's just a way that I play things on some of these slates where we have 4 to 5 games. I don't love a ton of things, but I can bring some guys down, get them to a number I'm comfortable with, and get us plus money. So Kevin Durant, 20-plus points. Cade Cunningham, 20-plus points. Cooper Flagg, 15-plus points. DeMar DeRozan, 15-plus points. And James Harden, 6-plus assists, plus 143. KD's done this in a bunch of games. They're playing the Nets. It's the earlier game of the day. I think he shows up. Cade, he's been getting it going scoring. We've attacked him in a few spots. He's gotten us there. And the numbers have been 27.5, somewhere around there. We're going to take him down 7 points just to get us 20-plus. I think it'll be tight enough for him to go over this. They're returning home. I like him in that spot. Cooper Flagg. This is a guy that's really, really improving game by game, and we're seeing it. And there was some criticism for him early on in his NBA career. People forget he's 18 years old. You see the growth with him every single game he plays. 15 plus points, even with Anthony Davis returning, should not be an issue. DeMar DeRozan was under last game. They got blown out, didn't show up. He should come to play tonight. He's the only guy they really have with no Levine. And then James Harden, 6+ assists. We already talked about that before. That gets us to plus 143. A little look ahead to Saturday for our last parlay of the day. The Seattle Seahawks on the money line and Bucky Irving 40+ rushing yards at plus 141. I love Seattle in this spot. I've talked about it on the show a little bit. I talked about it on our radio show. I would expect Seattle to win this game. I think they're going to beat San Francisco. One of these two teams is going to need to get a stop. I've talked about that a bunch. And Seattle's defense right now is far better. You could tell me San Fran's going to get a little healthier and all of those things. I don't see them struggling. I think that Seattle is going to win the game. I think they're going to get stops. I think their offense is good enough. Sam Darnold struggles later in years. I'm not worried about it here. We saw what Caleb Williams and that Bears offense did. We've seen teams attack them. Phillip Rivers, everybody thought he was going to get hurt. He played just fine. And then Bucky Irving, 40+. I've talked about him a lot through the week as well. So I think Bucky's going to have a big day. I would expect them to keep it on the ground and try to play it smart because they're not even guaranteed with a win there. Jason just texted me. He had a power outage. So I will wrap this up. I did want to get to one comment. We had Trader Geo 6047. When will Ben learn not to bet on the bad teams on losing streaks? Listen, I understand the Pelicans were a tough loss yesterday, and sometimes I attack two spots. That's just kind of where I am. And some, like, it's not just me throwing stuff out there. It's me kind of coming up with things. I thought the Pelicans would beat a Bulls team without their guys. They struggled the last time they played. Ultimately, they came up short, but I get it. It was ugly. Why are you betting the Pelicans, who are one of the worst teams in the NBA to this year? I thought they were healthy enough to get the win. Ultimately, they did not. I apologize for that. But again, it's just how it's my philosophy. It's how I go about things. I'll try to stay away from some of these lesser teams for you moving forward. As I said, Jason is out. So as always, we will look at the betting slip. We combined for over 6.5 units last night. Jason smoked it. The only play that he lost was tailing me on the Ohio State game. We lost Ohio State two different ways. We had them parlayed with Texas Tech today. That game's kicking off here in probably 20 minutes. So very excited for that matchup. You know, we're leveraging that game a bunch. But as I said, Jason knocked it out of the park last night. I finished up north of 2 units. A very, very good combined show for us there. Tonight, we will be live late. After the final game, Georgia is matching up with Ole Miss. We have plays on that one. Following that game, so probably 11 to 11:30, Jason and I will be live. Jason has somewhere to go tomorrow. It's going to be a little busy tomorrow, so we decided to just do the show tonight like we did the night before Thanksgiving. It'll be a late night show, 11 to 11:30, sometime around there. Tune in with us then. If that's a little too late, fully understand. You guys have work in the morning. Tune in the morning. We will be posted on our podcast channel. Subscribe to us there. Subscribe to us on YouTube. We are growing subscribers every single day. Appreciate everybody's support on here. Just subscribe here. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow me on Twitter at BHJournalist. Follow us at Wanna Bet With Us. Again, we're live every single day, giving you our best bets. Appreciate everybody for tuning in, and we will see you probably in just about 12 hours.